Hi, my name is Mimi Bitson. About a year ago, in September of 2014, my mother-in-law, Patricia Bitson, passed away. About 3 weeks before she died, I got a phone call from her. She had been discharged from the hospital and was staying in a short-term stay facility to try and get enough strength to go back home. And she called me and she said, "Mimi, I have to apologize to you." And I said, "But for what?" And she said, "Well, I volunteered you to do a favor, but I forgot to ask you first." And I thought, oh boy. So I said, "Well, what's the favor, Pat?" And she said, well, she had gotten to know this beautiful couple at the short-term stay place where she was at. And she said that the woman was a parishioner from our parish, and that her husband was a man who had just the most fascinating story. He had been a young boy in World War II in Germany. And she just said that his story was so unique about his experiences in the war as a child and about how he eventually came to this country. And she said that in talking with him, he just expressed this desire that not only his children, but especially his grandchildren would get to know his story. And she just said, I said to him, "Mimi, you can help him with that." I'm a freelance writer and I have written people's stories, but I said, "Pat, I would love to do this." And I thought about it, and one of the first things I did was call my friend Jim McAllister. Jim is a videographer, and we've worked together on projects before, and I don't know, we just dance really well together. And so I asked Jim if he would help me with this story, because it's one thing to see written words on a page, and it's another to see somebody tell their own story. So my mother passed away 3 weeks after that. And very shortly after that, I thought, well, I promised her I would do this favor. And so I got in touch with Al and his wife, Barb, and I asked if I could help them tell their story. And so Jim and I went to see them. We sat down in a living room type setting, and I just asked questions, and Al talked. And it was in his own words about what it was like to live in a train station, to be displaced during the war, to not know where family was after the war, and eventually about how not only he, but all of his family came to this country. He called it the land of milk and honey. It was really a moving story. I went back and edited the story from a writing perspective, and then we refilmed one more time, and this time Al just told it the whole way through, and it was the complete package. So Jim worked on editing it just a little bit, and I remember it was December 17th that I was able to go to their home with 12 written copies of the story and 12 DVDs of Al telling his story. The really cool part is that it wasn't only Al's story, but in the end, Jim asked how Al had met his wife, Barb. So it was also their love story, which was just beautiful. I gave it to them. They were in their home putting up their Christmas tree. And, well, Al was a small man, but he on oxygen, but he literally started dancing in his living room. He was so excited. And he said, "This will be the best gift of Christmas." So I gave thanks to my mother-in-law for letting me be part of that, great little project. And I just really never gave it another thought. About 6 weeks later, quite unexpectedly, Al Binder died. And I just knew I had to go to the funeral. And I actually helped at the funeral lunch. And as I was clearing tables, Al's son came up to me and he said, "I understand that you were the one who helped get my father's story told." And I said, "Well, it was really my mother-in-law, but with the help of Jim McAllister, yeah, we did. We got that story." And he said, "It's the most precious gift I have. I will not only be able to read about my father's story, I can hear it in his own words. I can see the love that he has for Barbara." And he just said, "I just thank you for the greatest gift."